Alright, hello, greetings, and welcome everyone to this news video. I am the Ninjaneer, and the topics we are covering today are as follows. Aptera's January update. Munro and Associates tear down the BYD Shark. Aptera is being investigated by the SEC. And things that I liked. Let's get started. Aptera released their January update, and it went about exactly as I figured it would. They talked mostly about CES and things of that nature. I would say check it out if you haven't already, because it's a pretty fun video. Alright, Munro Live has started tearing down different BYD vehicles, starting here with the BYD Shark. The video itself is very in-depth, as Munro generally tends to be, and they talk about a lot of the things and elements that they figured were interesting about the BYD Shark as they were disassembling it, and I thought that it was a pretty cool video, and I was a little bit surprised with how conventional the BYD actually is. Conventional, maybe normal is a better word, or maybe similar to what we've already seen in the automotive industry, at least as far as what they've torn down so far. I assume that the rest of the vehicle teardowns that they do will have a little bits of surprises and things in there, or perhaps not. Only time will tell. Alright, this is a fairly major situation. Major as in something that should be mentioned, not major as in something that is going to necessarily negatively impact the company. So it says here in the explanatory note that Aptera filed on the 30th that Aptera Motors Corp. Previously disclosed that it had received a request from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to preserve documents related to the company's securities offerings and production, design, and manufacture of our vehicle relevant to an ongoing investigation. The company subsequently received a subpoena for documents from the Commission requesting certain of same documents as described in the preservation request. The company is cooperating with the investigation and intends to produce documents in response to the subpoena. This is something that I saw circulating for a little while online in a couple of the forums that I frequent, and people were freaking out a little bit, so I just want to say that this in and of itself is not a huge deal. There have been dozens of companies that have been investigated this exact same way and had to put similar explanatory notes in their offerings and things of that nature, specifically Tesla and other types of automakers when they started out, the newer automakers especially. Let's see, Lordstown and all those guys, everybody's had to put something like this out. Well, just about everybody has had to put something like this out, so please do not freak out. In general, if something comes of this investigation, if something happens where they have been proven to have some kind of wrongdoing or something, then at that point maybe it should be noted that there's something that you should freak out then. But at this point, do not freak out. There's nothing out of the ordinary or strange or unusual about this particular situation. What I'm assuming occurred is that essentially they have forgotten to do something or didn't dot a T or cross an I. Yeah, it's just one of those things that happens to most companies, not just automotively, just in general. The SEC tends to be very thorough and wants to make sure that they are not allowing the general public to be led on by fraudulent investors and things of that nature. That this is their due diligence. The SEC is doing their due diligence, is what I absorbed from this explanatory note. If something does come of this, I will let you guys know as soon as it happens or as soon as I know about it. But at this point, I would not be terribly concerned. And now for things that I liked. The first thing that I liked this week was a Drive the Lightning video where they talked about is $40,000 too much for the Aptera? Spoiler alert, probably not for most people, including myself and the Drive the Lightning team. But yeah, in general, I would say that $40K is a bit of a shock. It was a bit of a shock for some, but personally, I don't think it was a big deal. yeah, the ROI, the paying for itself over the course of its lifetime, in my opinion, kind of offsets that extra cost. For those of you who were really looking for a really inexpensive electric vehicle, I would say maybe if 40K is too rich for your blood, then it's okay. They plan on releasing a 250-mile version later on, and that one will almost certainly be cheaper than the launch edition. So yeah, for me, it's not that bad. But yeah, I can see how some folks were like a little stunned by that news. Alright, the next thing I like this week is a video by a channel called Economics Explained. They basically talked about the impacts of the tariffs and what it could mean for the US, and they did so in a very interesting and objective way. They didn't try to dog whistle people into like, oh, this is a terrible thing that you should definitely fear, or is definitely a terrible. It's a more nuanced approach, and I appreciated that very much. It talked about all of the precedent for tariffs and why tariffs might not have been a terrible idea in general some time ago, and how it could be utilized today to make it, to make tariffs more of a net benefit to the U.S. and things of that nature. It talked about a lot of different topics, and if you are at all interested in economics or how the financial system works, I would say check out this channel, but specifically check out this video to understand the impacts of tariffs potentially on the American people in general. Alright, that will be the end of this particular video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This one was a little bit shorter this week, mostly because I released one last Wednesday and now I'm releasing one on Monday. I just wanted to make sure that I got the alarm kind of dulled when it came to that SEC filing that Aptera put out about being investigated. It is okay, folks. I promise. It's okay. At this point, there's nothing to worry about. If they find something, or if the SEC decides to go further with litigation or something of that nature, then I would say maybe worry. But at this point, it is a perfectly normal part of the SEC's process to make sure that they are doing their due diligence to keep us, the consumers or the investors, safe. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am the Engineer. Please do the YouTubey things, and I'll catch you guys next time.